Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our third episode of the awesome Tech Unfiltered Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about something that we're really worried about. No, don't worry. It's about the March madness that's happening. Yeah, I mean, there are going to be so many phones launching soon that if you have decided or if you're planning on buying a smartphone right now, we'd say wait until the end of March before you make a decision for 2021. And you know what? To talk about all the upcoming phones, I have two awesome guests with me. And we have Rushil from MySmartPrice Hindi, who obviously does our wonderful videos in Hindi. Hey Rushil, what's up? Awesome. And we also have another guest with us, Pranav Hegde, who writes for Money Control, and he's also a smartphone expert.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Alright, so to start off, let's start talking about the Redmi K40 and the K40 Pro. And my god, what pricing! What? Rushil, what is happening, bro? Like, what is Redmi doing? Like, I mean, a Snapdragon 870 phone under rupees 25. Obviously, these are the prices in China. Under rupees 25,000, and Snapdragon 888 under rupees 40,000, actually under rupees 35,000 as well. I'm like shocked, dude. Like, what do you think about it?
Yeah, and they haven't even taken any obvious cost-cutting decisions. Like you would say, "Arey, it's an LCD screen. It's not a high refresh rate screen." Nothing of that sort. They've basically put in everything that people complain about. If it comes to India, like at even 5K, 6K extra than the Chinese pricing, I think it's going to be a steal deal.
Will this come as a Poco F2 rebrand, Pranav? What do you think?
See, look, there's a very high possibility. A couple of reasons for that. One of it could be the various certification websites that we've seen, wherein the Redmi K40 essentially has a similar model number to the Poco model number, which comes to India. So that is one. And the Poco India team also has been teasing a launch. Anuj Sharma, Poco India's country manager, he himself has said that the Poco F2 would be something very big, and if they launch the Poco F2, it has to be a 800 series processor and it cannot be a 700 series processor. So 870 seems to be a very sweet spot for them to bring it here in India, especially maintaining the flagship killer, flagship performance.
In fact, I feel that it won't come as the Poco F2. I think it'll come as the Poco F3 instead. Because it doesn't make sense to bring a F2 right now.
And they bought the F2 Pro in some international markets that comes with the 865 processor, 865 or 865 plus processor. Right. So it doesn't make sense, to launch with Poco F2 with 870 and your F2 Pro having the 865 processor.
And one of the things that happened recently, and we also reported about it, is that if you go to poco.in/F2, you're going to be rickrolled really badly. So Poco India has played some marketing ploy out there where they want people to know that they're never going to give you up on the Poco promise. But we don't really know if that's going to be if that's what it is. But we know for a fact that there is definitely flagship on the offering, but if it's launching in March or not is something we don't know, and whether the Redmi K40 series is launching in March or not is something we don't know. But we know for a fact that there are a few phones launching in India, in fact a lot of phones, which is why we're doing this episode in the first place. So let's start off, Rushil, with the budget series. Let's start talking about the Redmi Note 10. Whatever has been teased looks extremely interesting.
Yeah, so it's just a few days away, and it happens very rarely that we are also super excited to see what is in store for us, what processors are there, what screens are there. So lots of specs floating around, and I'm honestly interested to see what processors Redmi is going to choose for this series.
That's right. I mean, there is no confirmation on the processors yet. So if you're seeing any leaks saying that it's a Snapdragon 678 or a MediaTek Dimensity 800, nobody knows. It's not confirmed yet at all. Even the leaks are not sure yet. So we'll have to wait and watch if that's actually going to be true. As for the Redmi Note 10, what we know for sure is the fact that because there was a leak that happened recently of a live phone from a retail store, we know for a fact that the phone will come with an AMOLED display and will have 4 cameras on the rear, and obviously Xiaomi Manu Kumar Jain himself has said clearly that the phones will come with 108 megapixel cameras, but the launch is pretty soon. It's on March 4th, and I'm expecting them to launch a Redmi Note 10, a 10 Pro and the 10 Pro Max. Pranav, what's your take on that?
One among the very few smartphone launches that I'm looking forward to, like you just said, that there is very little that we know. The company has started teasing a couple of specifications. So Manu Kumar Jain has already confirmed that it's going to have a Snapdragon processor. there's going to be a 108 megapixel camera setup. It's going to have a 120 hertz display as well. So I'm assuming it's going to be for the Note 10 Pro Max, which is going to have the 120 hertz. I'm not sure if it's going to have the AMOLED panel on it, because then again the cost would go high. And that would put it against the Realme X7 Pro. So I'm not sure what exactly is in store. There could be a very surprise element, and something that Xiaomi often does. It often surprises us with the pricing.
So one of the things that I know for a fact is that Redmi generally, when it launches its Note series phones, it prices it around the base variant, the Note 10, the Note 9, Note 8, at around the 13,999 or the 14,999 pricing. So it's going to be at that pricing for the base Note 10 variant for sure. And anything above that, I think, will be like around 16,999, and then 17,999 or 19,999, whatever it is, for the 19,999 for the Pro Max. So I think that should be the price range that you're looking at. I think I'm going to take a very, very educated guess that, considering, Pranav, that you said that it's got a 120 hertz display. I think that's obviously going to come with the Pro Max variant, and I am betting that Xiaomi might just include an AMOLED panel.
But then again, that'll compete against the Mi 10i. So That's a good point. I think it wants to compete against the Mi 10i, considering how we've seen these brands cannibalizing their own lineups over and over again, whether it's Realme or Redmi or Samsung.
I mean, do you think 2 months is still a good time? Like somebody who has just bought a Mi 10i, maybe in the Republic Day sale, and now Xiaomi comes up with a better phone. If they come up with a high refresh rate AMOLED, I think Mi 10i buyers would be devastated.
I have a very interesting insight here. I spoke to a few people and I asked them, okay, let's just say, for example, Realme back then had launched the Realme 6 series. And then I think in September they launched the Realme 7 series. Just before and after the lockdown, that is. So I did ask consumers that if they felt cheated, that okay, the Realme 7 Pro came with slightly better specs, and someone who I know has a Realme 6 Pro. So I asked him, did he feel cheated that the brand actually launched a better phone so soon? He said, I don't care, man, because tech is evolving fast, one. Plus, it's a relatively affordable phone for sub 15,000-20,000. I don't care much on missing out on a lot of features. Most consumers educated who follow tech, they have this thing in their mind, okay, tech is evolving fast, and even if we buy a phone, there's going to be something new the next week.
The Realme 8 series is coming. Not much is known about it. I don't even know if it's going to be called the Realme 8 or the 8 Pro. So, Rushil, if you can add some light on that.
So, I think, again, like Pranav was mentioning, so the Narzo 30 series just launched, and Realme has already started teasing about a 108 megapixel camera phone coming. So I think that's going to be the highlight feature for it. And it's also, like, if you look at it, so last year, I think exactly at this time, we saw the first phone with 108 megapixel camera, the S20 Ultra. And in exactly 1 year, we are seeing 180 megapixel cameras under 20K. So I think all these phones will have to launch with some new crop of processors. I think the 768G or Snapdragon 690G, because Dimensity 800U has been done on 2-3 phones now.
Like if you're buying a phone in and around the 20 to 30,000 price range, it makes sense for you to go for a 5G phone, because you might, especially if you're in the metro cities, like if you live in the tier 8, tier 2 towns, tier 1, tier 2 towns, you should definitely go for a 5G phone, because there is a possibility that you might be able to experience it, if not by the end of the year, at least by the start of next year. So by then, at least you will have a phone that sort of supports it. But ensure that all of your 5G bands are supported by these phones, because not a lot of phones seem to be doing that. So, you have to be careful of that for sure. So the Realme 8 series, that's all we know about it. And of course, we know for the fact that Bhai has promoted, there was a leaked picture of Salman Khan with the Realme 8. But I think we need to move on to the next phone that has almost been confirmed to launch as well, because the leaks are out fast and thick. In fact, we covered it on MySmartPrice Gear. Is that the Oppo F19 and the Oppo F19 Pro Plus are two phones that are expected, again, Pro Plus 5G. Quite a mouthful. Both the phones are expected to launch pretty soon as well. Rushil, any expectations from the F19 series? Because we don't know much about it. So what is your feeling about it?
So I think we can expect it to be priced around between 20 to 25,000. So if there are two models, so one should be around 20-21,000. The Pro Plus 5G model should be around 25. That's the general price range that the F series plays in. And with Oppo, we can expect it to have, a very sleek design, slim design. And
Yes.
let's see if
Yes.
Oppo can bring the curved screen design to a cheaper price point from the Reno series. Since it's a 5G phone, so there will definitely be a, you can expect it to be either the MediaTek 800U or a Snapdragon 765G, that sort of a processor.
Now, I'll tell you one thing, like with these phones that you're buying online, like if you're looking at the Realme phones or or even the Samsung M series, M series phones, or the Redmi phones, all of them are chunky boys. All of them are fat, and they're really big to hold and use. And that's where Oppo and Vivo bring their distinction in by making slim, sleek phones and that are extremely comfortable to use. In fact, both Rushil and I love the matte finish that they get with their glass-bodied phones. The Reno series had a very good design. I think that is a sweet spot according to me, if you ask me. I'm okay with the 4500 mAh battery because charging speeds have become great, but I want my phone to be slim and sleek most of the time, so I know that there is an audience for it.
I've seen many people actually really buy the F17 Pro, as in the circle that I'm in. I live in Bombay, so I've seen so many offline as in folks who purchase phones offline go for the F17 Pro, primarily because it was a very slim phone. Oppo is among the top 5 smartphone manufacturers in India, and it has a very strong hold in the offline market. Although when you compare it to the online market, the specifications do not offer the best value, but what's not part of the spec sheet is the design that people get to see in the offline market. And of course, India mein it's often said as "jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai." So,
alright, so now moving on from the Oppo phones, I think there are a lot of Samsung phones that are expected to launch. I'll just name them right now, and we'll talk about the specs later because there's just way too much launching. So the M12, the A32, the A52, the A72, none of them have been confirmed to launch yet, but these are most definitely coming in March. From our, the leaks that have been going around.
A32 is confirmed. A32 is launching on 5th.
A32 is confirmed. A32 is launching on the 5th. So that's confirmed for sure. The A32 has already launched and we know about it, but in other markets it's launched as a 5G phone, but here it's going to be launching as a 4G phone, which is a bit of a pity if you ask me. So that's one thing. So A32 is confirmed to launch. The M12 is rumored to launch.
No, you guys did some exclusive about the 4GB, 6GB RAM options.
That's right. We did a report as well. So basically two variants that are coming soon. So we did a leak on that from Ishan. Obviously, he's a very reliable tipster. Then there's the A52 and the A72. Two phones that I'm really excited about because they possibly will come with good processors and 5G support and should be priced well as well.
Yeah, I used the A71 and I really liked the phone. It was very slim and you get all the Samsung goodness. But this time I'm more excited about the phones because I think there has been some leaks about the Galaxy A32 coming with a 90Hz display. So I'm hoping the A52, A72 will also follow suit. And obviously, I mean, everything else you can expect it to be good anyway. Like Samsung cameras are good in that price range.
Pretty exciting stuff with Samsung as well. So Samsung fans, if you're waiting for a mid-range Samsung phone, now that Samsung has launched flagship devices, I think mid-range will be something that Samsung is concentrating on until the Note series, if it exists. But couple of phones that are pending, and I'm really excited about it. I'm sad that we have to wait till the end to talk about this, is Asus ROG Phone 5. The next best gaming phone of the year, I'm pretty sure.
Like, there's not much to, I mean, that the ROG phone will have the best performance and it will be a super high refresh rate display. I'm just hoping to see some other new innovations with the ROG 5. Let's see if they have managed to cram something else into the phone.
DxOMark did a display test, if I'm not mistaken, or was it an audio test, and they actually showed the picture of the phone. Audio review, and they actually showed the picture of the phone. It does have that matrix LED display on the rear, which is similar to that Zephyrus line of Asus laptops. It's going to be fantastic if it comes with that. That looks really stunning, guys. I mean, I'm waiting to see how that looks on a phone, and that I think will be something that is definitely worth checking out, when it comes out. So the design, I think if they've added a dot matrix display on the rear for some extra functions, it should be very interesting. In fact, the event invite also has something similar on showcase. So that's very interesting for sure. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the fact that the Asus ROG Phone 5 actually is called the 5 and not the 4, because in China, obviously, there's a superstition with the number 4. So that's something that you guys should know about. So, and dual speakers for sure.
Plus the headphone jack is back.
The headphone jack is back. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it back? Is it confirmed?
Yes, so I think in the DxOMark audio test, they mentioned it.
Oh, wow. So that's something worth clapping about. The ROG Phone 5, I am genuinely interested about it. It's coming soon. And it's probably launching in India soon as well. So,
so what do you think the pricing will be?
Being excited.
Indian pricing.
That's a very good point. What is the pricing last year? 49,999 if I'm not mistaken, right? For the ROG Phone 3.
And it got down to 45, 46 during the sale, which was like after 3 months or so.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's going to be around the same.
No other brand is Samsung, by the way.
For the base 8GB.
Samsung just cuts costs like anything. But not Asus.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra is available for around 80k on Amazon during the sale.
Yes.
I mean, the phone launched exactly a month ago. Not even a month ago, but then it's available at a discounted 20-25k discount right now.
Yes. Pranav, we must talk about the OnePlus 9 series. The final hurrah before we say goodbye to the audience. Yeah. The OnePlus 9 series, while it hasn't been confirmed to launch in March yet, but there are strong rumors indicating, Ishan Agarwal tweeted it out, 19 Mobiles covered it as well, that the OnePlus 9R, the 9 and the 9 Pro are 3 phones that OnePlus is launching soon. And after that, they're also going to be launching a OnePlus Watch as well. What I am more interested in is the OnePlus 9R. Do we know anything about it? Like, what is that phone going to be? What is a OnePlus 9R going to be?
So from the leaks that I've covered, Phone Arena did a copy wherein it said that the phone's going to launch with a Snapdragon 690, which kind of seems very underwhelming. At least I do not expect it to launch a phone in the 6 series, at least in India, because the most affordable offering, which is the Note, comes with a Snapdragon 765, which again is very close to flagship performance.
Yeah.
The 9 Pro seems very interesting because they've partnered with Hasselblad for the camera, as per the leaks, that is. So again, there have been multiple rumors about they've partnered with Hasselblad for a custom 50 megapixel wide and an ultra wide sensor. OnePlus is...
If there's one thing that OnePlus needs to improve, that is definitely going to be the cameras. So it makes absolute sense that the 9 Pro
Exactly, that is what is coming.
I mean, it makes absolute sense for the 9 Pro to come. Obviously, the Hasselblad branding is definitely something that is going to be very interesting. Yeah. But branding doesn't mean much. I hope that they genuinely improve the camera algorithm.
And about the OnePlus 9R or 9E, I think we were hearing similar rumors last time around with the OnePlus 8 series, but that turned out to launch as the OnePlus Nord, what we were expecting to be launched as the OnePlus 8 Lite. But this time, manufacturers have the option to go for the Snapdragon 870. So I think that could be one option that OnePlus considers. So this could be a proper budget gaming device around 30,000-35,000.
And like you mentioned, that's a very good point that you make, Rushil, that last year there were some rumors about the 8 Lite launching with a 765G, and then that happened to be the Nord. So this could be the Nord 2 for and there is no 9R in existence. I don't know, we'll have to wait and watch, but there seems to be confirmation that the 9R is launching. So it seems to be, like, at least from the leaks circle, so it seems to be a phone that is going to be called the 9R, or at least in the 9 series. So, because if the 9R launches with the 870, then what will happen to the Nord 2? Maybe it will launch with the 760G or something. I don't know. I mean, it's really confusing right now, considering the fact that OnePlus, by the way, is becoming very confusing as well, to be honest.
Find X3 Pro is another phone that is confirmed actually to launch.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna come, if it comes, because they skipped the Find X2 Pro launch in India. They only launched the Find X2 here in India. If the Find X3 Pro does come to India, I'm just curious to see how different would it be from the OnePlus 9 Pro.
I think it was one of the better phones last year, wasn't it? The X2 Pro that we reviewed, but obviously it never came to India, or wasn't launched officially in India.
Oppo used to make good-looking phones since forever, but now what has improved is that they have really worked on the color OS and made it like super light and efficient. So even the Find X2 was a very good phone. But the problem with Oppo phones is that like OnePlus launches very similar phones and at a much better price. So if you look at them purely from the value for money perspective, then they lose out there.
And there's nothing that sort of makes them stand out from a OnePlus series, OnePlus phone. That's a very good point to make.
As we often see about Apple where it launches premium phones but also offers software support for like 4 or 5 years. Same could be the case with Android phones who are slowly and gradually catching up. Oppo and Samsung, I believe, are the two companies that are currently leading the race. I can't think of some other brand. Xiaomi is still launching Android 10 powered MIUI 12 phones.
Alright, so I think, gentlemen, we've spoken a lot about the upcoming phones, which obviously means that you shouldn't buy a phone right now. Wait for a launch soon because there are tons of phones coming and you might want to wait for something that sort of suits your purpose. But before we sign off, I just want to ask both of you, what is which one phone from all of these, just pick one phone, not even a series, one phone from all of these that you're most excited about, so the audiences know that, that's one thing that they should look out for. I think I would go for the OnePlus 9 Pro. Rushit?
Copied my answer. Yeah, so so OnePlus 9 Pro will definitely be one of the most exciting phones of the year because of the performance it will bring at the price point. And I think from the budget segment, I'm excited about Samsung's updates for this year because of, all the updates they're bringing for the high refresh rate display and the 5G processors. So a Galaxy A52, for example, would be very interesting.
I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to give you two answers, two phones. One is the Redmi Note 9 Pro or the Note 10 Pro Max, which is rumored to be in the sub 20-25K range. The second phone that I'm looking forward to is the A52, primarily because the A51 was last year's best-selling phone. So people have preferred to buy a Samsung phone in the sub $250 to $300 range, international markets. I'm not sure about the India numbers, but then A52 is something that I'm looking forward to in the mid-range segment.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for all those insights and inputs. It was really, really helpful. And I hope people have gotten what they need from here and they know what to wait for the upcoming phones. If you guys, want to read about this, we'll link our article of the upcoming phones in the description below. So you can go and check that out as well. Just in case you want to quickly read it. And if you've come this far, which is pretty far actually, consider subscribing and maybe hitting the like button as well. Until next time, this is Aisha. Thank you so much, Pranav. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for being on the show. Goodbye and Godspeed, my friends. Bye.